Good day, grade 11s, and welcome back. So we are going to continue today. We got up to page 38 last time. Please do not continue if you don't understand and haven't done everything up to page 38. If you have, then we are going to continue. If not, please ask me questions before we continue. So we are looking at page 39, number 12.3. Identify roots of inverted triads. So we are looking, if we look at that first square with the example, there is a root position chord, there's a first inversion chord, and a second inversion chord. If you've forgotten what that all means, please go back to the previous video and have another listen. Recall that the root is on the bottom of a root position triad. The root of an inverted triad is the top note of the interval of a fourth. So if you look at the first inversion, there's only 1/4. It's from A to D. And second inversion, there's also only 1/4. It's also from A to D. So that's just a different way to find the root. At the top of the fourth, that is the root of the triad. The notes of a fourth are always one on a line and one in a space. Those are just hints to help you find that fourth. Now, exercise number 1. Write the letter of the root of these inverted and root position triads. So you are going to write that all down and then write abbreviated Arabic numerals next to the letter. Write no Arabic numerals for root position and recall that there is no abbreviation for second inversion. So what you're going to do, if you look at number 1, write the letter of the root. So number 1, the letter, there's a B, an E, and a G. The root is at the top of the fourth. So the letter of the note at the top of the fourth is E, because the fourth is from B to E. So you will write a capital E there. Then write abbreviated Arabic numerals next to the letter. So that is not root position because the root is not in the root. It's not first inversion because the third is not in the root, not at the bottom. It's second inversion because the fifth is at the bottom. Another way of counting that is just to go from B to E is 4, from E to G is 4, 5, 6, so there is your 6, 4. So the answer would be a capital E, 6, 4. Please continue that exercise. Once you have continued that, you can continue with the video. So just stop the video now. I trust that you completed that. So we are now on page 40. Complete this chart from memory. Now you'll remember at the end of the first lesson there were things you had to memorize. So please try and complete this without going back and checking. So on the staff, they have those 3 examples, EGB, GBE, and BEG. I'm reading them from the bottom up. We'd like the full Arabic numerals. Remember, the Arabic numerals are your normal numbers like we use in mathematics, 1, 2, 3. Then the abbreviated Arabic numerals, that is when we leave some out. In one case, we leave them all out. We want the name, so we want to know which inversion or position it is, and we want the bottom note, which is the root. So at the moment, they gave you the first answer. So the bottom note of that first one is E, which is the root because it's in which position? Okay, grade 11s, please finish page 40 and then continue with the video. We are on page 41. Review inversions and write abbreviated Arabic numerals. So number 1, analyze the following triads. By A, identify the triads as root position, first inversion, or second inversion. B, write abbreviated Arabic numerals, leave blank for root position triads. C, write the letter of the root. D, identify the bottom note as the root, third or fifth of the triad. So there is an example. So A says identify the triad as root, first or second. So that is a first inversion because if you count the notes, A to C is 1, 2, 3, and then the F on top is 6. So you have 6, 3, 1. Which then is 6, 3, which then is abbreviated to 6. So it is your first inversion. Your abbreviation is 6. If you look at C, write the letter of the root. The root of this chord is not A, it is F. It is the bottom of what would be in root position. and then identify the bottom it is the root third or the fifth. It's the third. So please continue and finish number 1. Once you have finished that, then continue with the video. So I trust that number 1 is finished. Let's go to number 2. Analyze the chords in the following folk song. A. Write letter names of roots and abbreviated Arabic numerals, both in the same space below each triad. So, letter names of roots and abbreviated Arabic numerals. I will do the first one with you. So we have D, F, B. So we want the name of the root. So the root is the note at the top of the fourth. So the fourth is from F sharp to B. So the root would be B. And then we want the abbreviated Arabic numerals. So if we count, we have 1, 3, 6. So 6, 3 is the full one. When we abbreviate it, it's just 6. So your answer there would be B, 6. Okay, so finish that exercise and then restart the video again. Okay, so now we're looking at 2B. Write for the above music the scale degree name, tonic, supertonic, of the roots of the triads with numbers above them. Okay, so we are in which key? Because you can't work out the scale degrees if you don't know which key you are in. There's an F sharp and the first chord of the first bar. Now the first bar is not the anacrusis or the upbeat. Number 1 and number 2, that's just the upbeat or the anacrusis or the pickup. Bar 1 starts at note number 3. Now that chord, if you have analyzed it correctly, you would have had G6. So it is a G major chord. And we have an F sharp, which implies we are in G major. So we are in G major. Now, we want the scale degree of the roots of the triads with the numbers above them. So if you look at number 1, you know that the root is B because you put that in your previous answer in 2A. So number 1's root is B. We are in G major. In G major, B is what degree of the scale? First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, or seventh? Let's count. G, A, B. G is the tonic, G is the first degree, G, A, B. So B is 1, 2, 3. And the third degree of the scale is called the mediant. Okay, so continue that exercise, pause the video. Once that exercise is completed, then resume the video. We are on page 42, and we are going to look at some new work, notated inverted triads. Write a second inversion triad method 1 and alternate method. So we are going to write A major 6, 4. Now, in this example, they did not use key signatures, but you are welcome to. So I would change it slightly. When they say A major, I would put in the key signature. Now, just to remind you, when you are working out sharp keys, and remember all your white notes are sharp keys except for F and C. So A major is a sharp key. When you are working out sharp keys, you need to identify the leading note. And the leading note is the 7th. And the 7th of A major is G sharp. Then it's all the sharps up to and including the leading note. So Father Charles goes. So you can put in your F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp in the key signature. And then all you need to do is you need to go and write out the name, the notes. So A major chord would be A, C sharp, E, but that's root position. As you can see there, there's the root position. That is step 2. Then step 3, you now need to go to second inversion. So you would first take it up to first inversion by moving the root up an octave. And then once you've done that, you take it to second inversion by moving the third up an octave too, so that your 5th ends up in the root. Okay? So if you look at the alternative method, which is number 2, you'll see we have A, C sharp, E, step 2. And all you need to do to get to second inversion is move the fifth down an octave. Because in second inversion, the fifth becomes the bottom of the chord. So move the fifth down an octave. And that's all you need to do. Okay, so we are going to go to number 1, 2, and 3. To write inverted triads, follow these steps carefully. Write a root position triad with chord tone dots. See both illustration above. So, the chord tone, it says there, is a member of a chord with no specific octave. Chord tone is a general name, like letter names for notes. So if you look at those, step 1, step 2, and step 3, you'll see that there are dots on the staff. Now the dot, A-C-E, represents the note of that staff. And that is the chord tone. Once you start putting stems or you make them semi-breves, like at the end of step 3, it's not a chord tone anymore. Then it is an actual semi-breve. So, number 1, write a root position triad with chord tone dots. See both illustration above. Number 2, add sharps or flats to the given chord quality. You are not doing that because we are doing key signatures. Number 3, invert the triad. For first inversion, invert once. Second inversion, either invert twice or bring the fifth below the root. So we are going to notate these triads. I want to do a minor, and I will do an augmented with you. And we will leave out, are there any diminished? We will leave out the diminished. We won't do C sharp because I want to do that in class with you. So, if we look at F sharp minor 6, so what we need to do is we need to work out the key signature of F sharp minor. Now the key signature of F sharp minor, in order to establish the key signature, you need to find the relative major. The relative major of F sharp minor. If you want to work out the relative major, you must go up a third, F, G, A. Then you're going to count 4 semitones, F sharp, G, G sharp, A, and you end up on A. So the key signature of F sharp minor is the same as the key signature of A major, which we've already established, is Father Charles Goes. So put in your F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. Now you want the F sharp minor chord, but in first inversion, that's what 6 means. So let's put in our chord tones. That would be F, A, C, just little circles, F, A, C, and then you need to take it up. You need to invert it once. So you take the F up an octave, and you end up with A, C, F, and that is your answer, A, C sharp, and F sharp. Okay, so it means you'll be able to do G minor because you can work out the relative major, and work out the triad. Now let's look at A flat augmented, first inversion. So we're going to start by working out the key signature of A flat major. Okay, with augmented and diminished, we are going to work out the major key signature. So with a flat key, it's tonic plus 1. So B flat, E flat, A flat, one more, D flat. So put in your key signature, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat. Then we are going to put in our notes, A flat, C, E flat. Now A flat, C, E flat is a major key signature. If you want to augment that, you need to sharpen the fifth. Now the fifth at the moment is E flat. If you sharpen that, it becomes E natural. So you now have A flat, C, and E natural. Now all you need to do is you need to invert it once. So you basically take your A flat up an octave, and that will give you your answer. So, grade 11s, we are going to end here. Please do 12.6 for me. And once you have done 12.6, please send me pics of all the exercises you have done so that I can check if they are correct. Okay, grade 11s, thank you for joining me and thank you for doing this work. We have finished these triads and I will see you next week and we'll continue with triads and then continue with our syllabus. Have a good day.